7 of the NFL. And
getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here come the Steelers for the first time in this game with their free agent signing at quarterback, the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky. First carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 20 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
He's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try to find some people open downfield.
Trubisky's throw complete to Freiermuth. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Trubisky. Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Here's Trubisky to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know the good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs, you know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now Trubisky lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, we've got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
And here comes the Miami offense now, and it's the Southpaw in his 3rd season at the wheel for the Fins. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Tua's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Ready? Throwing again on 2nd down. Tua. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Trying to get the ball to his tight end in the center of the field where he runs a lot of his routes and ostensibly is extremely comfortable. He was hoping he'd find a seam and a big gainer to go along with it, but that one was incomplete.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. They get 25 yards out of that one. And that's good for a Miami first down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play. And the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Ready.
A first carry for the Fordham Ram, Chase Edmonds. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Tua going to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Michael Pittman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was capped off on the touchdown catch by Michael Pittman. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. On the draw, it's Harris. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with during a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. After the turnover, it's Tua. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That's good for 28 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The Dolphins sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Edmonds will take this in for the Dolphin touchdown.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it. It's a little bit of a turnover. You went right back though and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Don't worry about your hands, though.
Yeah.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
Watch out for Hill on the return. Gets around him. A nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And it'll be Dolphin football. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Tua. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. They're all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Michael Pittman with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time. They were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. On third down, here's Harris. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
This defense is really thrown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On fourth down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Open man, that's Gesicki down the field. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now, light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
He lost 6 there on the first down play. Tua, a final shot before half. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Jarvis Landry leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. From there, we head east to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. And then lastly, Monday Night Football. It's a classic Super Bowl rematch from 36 years ago. The Bears and Patriots from Foxborough. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Steelers in that first half. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked. as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Both teams likely making their final adjustments before the second half. So, time for us to go back downstate to Miami and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Miles Jack working free that time to take him down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Tua. Open man downfield is Hill. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 82 yards. And the Dolphins come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it is 28-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's trying to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Completion here to Claypool. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. A nice little juke. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now here's another carry for Harris. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Trubisky will throw. It's brought in by Harris. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. On the give, this is Harris. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 8 yards to go on 2nd down. Now it's Trubisky. Setting up the screen, Harris. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. And they'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing here, Trubisky. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Boswell's kick is good, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. He goes 95 yards to the house on the kick return. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point up and good by 6. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. From the 6. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Trubisky complete. It's Johnson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Here's Trubisky. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. Quick completion here to Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off, Byron Jones. 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as he just added on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Taken from about the 12. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss. First and 10 here for Trubisky and the Steelers at their own 24. Back to the air, Trubisky after the pick six. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run with Edmonds again.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from walking.
Touchdown! Jalen Waddle, 28 yards. And the Dolphins are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Sanders now to add the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on third down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And now a hook up downfield on 2nd down. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play.
Ready.
And they will take a knee here. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there is no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Dolphins, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.